Hello guys, and welcome to this video. So today I want to talk about a topic which is quite relevant for me. I have experience in this, so I can actually give you some advice and kind of talk to you about it. I apologise about Ed in the background if he's making a noise and just shuffling around doing Ed things. Hopefully he'll settle down. But I just filmed a video before this one and he was an absolute menace, so we will see. But fingers crossed. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about CBT. Now, if you guys don't know what CBT is, it is cognitive behavioural therapy. So this is a psychological treatment that people can opt to have. You can get it on the NHS in the UK, but it is very difficult to get a referral because with anything to do with mental health, how do you prove these things? Like, how do you prove that this is what you need treatment wise? So really, it's kind of a case of chances are you might need to get a private referral or something along those lines. I went private for mine because probably wasn't going to get one off the NHS, so I just went private. I would recommend that if you can afford it because it's probably easier, you'll get there quicker. You might have a very long waiting list to get seen by someone who is registered with the NHS in the UK anyway. I'm not sure how it works in America, so if you are pitching in from the States or another country, I'm really sorry, but I don't know how it works over there. I guess you just pay. From my understanding of CBT, I'm not gonna give you the full breakdown of like the process and stuff because I did study this at A level and we went through it, but basically I'm just going to give you the rundown on what you guys need to know on the basics of how this works and will it work, does it work, stuff like that. So basically CBT is a system where you kind of change your method of thinking. So you kind of take how you evaluate situations and change it. Now the guy that I went and saw uses like a formula where it's like looking at the percentage of risk and like what's the worst outcome of the situation going to be. Everyone that goes and has CBT, whatever you're having your CBT for, you have certain things that trigger you. Now I know everyone likes to use this as a term at the minute, oh I'm so triggered, da da da, but it sounds stupid but it's actually true. I know that my triggers, respect is one of my triggers, so if someone's rude, disrespectful to someone, and also confrontation is a trigger for me too. That gets me really anxious and stressed and worked up. So those two really kind of coincide with each other in like a really awkward package really, because like if someone's rude to me or disrespects me, I've then got to have that confrontation with them and it's like double whammy. Enough about me personally. You kind of have to look at these situations and think to yourself, like, to put this in perspective, like say if I have a fallout with Liam, what's the worst that's going to happen? Okay, so the worst is we're going to break up. And then you go, well, what's the chances of that happening? Well, me and Liam love each other a lot, so the chances of that happening are very low. So, you know, it's like taking the worst outcome and the percentage of when, like, the likelihood that that is going to be the case, and kind of weighing up how you should react to this situation, like whether you're going to allow your fight or flight instinct, as it were, to kind of kick in and give you that anxiety. And basically that's what happens, like, because let's face it, in a hostile situation like an argument, you will initially go into that fight or flight response, which your body is your body innately goes into. It's natural, it's fine, but it's when your body starts using that as a combative response to situations that it shouldn't. So like day-to-day situations, like say if you wanted to go outside but that gave you so much anxiety and you panicked and it gave you that fight or flight response, and your instinct would be to fight, so you'd stay inside. You need to combat that and think, right, so what's the worst thing if I go outside? Okay, so if I go outside, what's the worst that's going to happen? I could get in a car accident if we're going to go really extreme. But what are the likelihood of you having a car accident? Well, it's probably not that likely, especially if you don't drive a car. It's not going to happen. So there's certain like ways you can, like, it's basically like taking any crazy thoughts that you have or any like hyper kind of like kind of like defensive thoughts that you have and just turn them into being like, actually no, let's be logical here and let's just like get this right and let's think about it properly, because it is basically like your body is like overreacting to a situation or a stimulus that it doesn't need to, is what causes you the anxiety. So it's basically like combating that. That's kind of the basic premise of CBT. So it's basically changing your thinking so that these things that used to be extremely stressful, you can now look at them in a relative perspective and kind of evaluate them differently and evaluate them in a more healthy and less stressful way. So for me, I would say CBT was very helpful. It helped me tremendously. I used to go every week, just once a week, but I used to go every week for about 6 months, and then I dropped it down to every 2 weeks and then every month, and now I haven't been since February, and I'm doing okay. I have my moments and I probably am due for a check-in, and I probably should check in soon. I do like to do a regular check-in, just like a 6 month or maybe a year check-in, just to make sure that you are not slipping back into any silly thinking habits that you had before. But it really is one of those things where you have to do it intensively to start with. I know people just go, they will go 3 times a week all the time because they need it, and if they need it, that's fine. You don't have to drop it off like I did. You just do what you have to do. Like, some of it can be dictated by money, yes, but if you need it, you need it, and it is worth its weight in gold to me. I look at people now and I can see people when people are having a really bad time, really bad situation where they are struggling mentally, and I know that they need some of this. I know they need some CBT just to help them along, just to help them gain a bit of perspective before they kind of fall right off the wagon, or before they make themselves very ill. Because the reason I was really ill before, if you guys have been on this channel for a while, is because of stress, anxiety and stuff, and my symptoms weren't normal stress symptoms, so we didn't know that's what it was. But since having the CBT, I'm a million times healthier now, a million times better. I actually have my life back now, and it is incredible. One thing about CBT though that I will tell you, if you go into it and you are extremely negative in the sense of, I don't think this is going to work, no, it won't work, because you've got to want to change your thinking. You've got to listen to what they are saying to you to help you. If you don't want the help, then that's fine. Don't waste anyone's time. Don't waste that time slot, because someone else will probably need it as much or more than you, and they might want it too, whereas you don't. So it's up to you if you think it would work for you. I think it has the potential to work for anyone. It's just how they go into it. If you go into it going, this won't work, it's never gonna work, it's not gonna fix me, how silly, how stupid, then no, it won't work, because you don't want to change. You've got to listen to what they say. But I have to say, there is something very nice to be said about being able to go and sit in a room and speak to someone and tell them everything. You need to tell them everything for a start. 100% transparency is needed, because they need to know all the nitty-gritty of what's gone on in your life and everything, which sounds horrible, but they need to know, because anything little that seems insignificant could be linked to any sort of mental thinking that you do. Like, could be something really silly, like something that happened years ago that you think you're over but you're not, stuff like that. But it is just, you need to listen to them. But it is valuable having somewhere you can go and tell them anything and not feel like you're being judged, because I don't care who you have to speak to, normally family and friends will try and give you some sort of opinion, kind of give their 2 cents instead of just sitting and listening. Honestly, it's definitely worth it. I would advise, if you are recommended it or you think you might need some, definitely speak to your doctor, go and speak to them about it, because I said to my doctor for ages, like, I was just at a point where I was like breaking down every time I went to the doctors, and I was like, can I just speak to someone please? Like, I'm just completely infuriated with the whole situation, and even if I can't get better, I want to speak to someone about it, because maybe that will make me feel better. And they wouldn't let me speak to anyone, so I had to go private for my referral, but it was 100% worth it. And in like a year, the difference has been ridiculous. I have my life back now, which is incredible, and I have the best life ever now. We have the best life, don't we, Edgar Pug? We have the best life. So yeah, it is very helpful. I would definitely recommend it if you think you need it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, if you guys forgot what it was. And I will link any interesting links down below for you guys if you want some more information and whatnot. And I have a very wiggly pug right now, so I'm gonna go, and I will see you all soon with another video. Until then, guys, I'll see you soon. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so before you go. Hey, kiss. Bye-bye.